Hey people, it's Niall talking. I would like to thank Pro Black 43 for posting about this story. This is from The Guardian. Industrial Revolution iron method was taken from Jamaica by Britain. Wrought iron process that drove UK success was appropriated from black metallurgists, records suggest. The court process transformed Britain with structures such as the Temperate House at Kew Gardens in London, an innovation that propelled Britain to become the world's leading iron exporter. During the Industrial Revolution was appropriated from an 18th century Jamaican foundry, historical records suggest. The court process, which allowed wrought iron to be mass-produced from scrap iron for the first time, has long been attributed to the British financier turned ironmaster Henry Court. It helped launch Britain as an economic superpower and transform the face of the country with iron palaces, including Crystal Palace, Kew Gardens, Temperate House, and the Arches at St. Pancras train station. Now, an analysis of correspondence, shipping records, and contemporary newspapers reports reveal the innovation was first developed by 76 black Jamaican metallurgists at an ironworks near Morant Bay, Jamaica. Many of these metal workers were enslaved people trafficked from West and Central Africa, which had thriving ironworking industries at the time. Dr. Jenny Bulstrode, a lecturer in history of science, and I just want to stop right there. What they say at the time is as if to say people were brilliant then, but they're not. If you ever look at the amount of people who come out of Nigeria to the West and how brilliant they are, the best surgeons, the best doctors, the best everything, all the talent is there and it's still there to this day. It's never gone away. Anyway, let's keep going. Dr. Jenny Bulstrode, a lecturer in history of science and technology at University College London, UCL, and author of the paper, said this innovation kicks off Britain as a major iron producer and was one of the most important innovations in the making of the modern world. The technique was patented by Court in the 1780s, and he is widely credited as the inventor, with the Times lauding him as the father of the iron trade after his death. The latest research presents a different narrative, suggesting Court shipped his machinery and the fully fledged innovation to Portsmouth from a Jamaican foundry that was forcibly shut down. The Jamaican ironworks was owned by a white enslaver, John Reeder, who in correspondence described himself as quite ignorant of iron manufacturing, noting that the 76 black metallurgists who ran the foundry were perfect in every branch of the iron manufacturing, and through their skill could turn scrap and poor quality metal into valuable wrought iron. Some of these workers are named in records and included Devonshire, Mingo's son, Friday, Captain Jack, Matt, George, Demi, Jackson, Will, Bob, Guy, Kofi, and Kwasi. And the last two there, Kofi and Kwasi, those are Ghanaian names. I always find it funny when these Native American types, we were here first, talk about we were Native Americans and not from Africa, but these guys have Ghanaian names. The innovation came after the workers introduced the use of groove rollers into the foundry to mechanize the formerly laborious process of hammering out impurities from low-quality iron. The same kind of groove rollers were used in Jamaican sugar mills. It's like a mechanical alchemy, said Bulstrode. You're taking essentially rubbish and turning it into something of very high value through this process. By 1781, the Jamaican ironworks was turning an impressive profit of about $4,000 a year, equivalent to about £7.4 million today. Meanwhile, Court was facing bankruptcy after taking over a client's ironworks in 1775 and laying out substantial sums to win a Royal Navy contract to process scrap iron, before realizing he stood to make a huge loss. The paper, published in the journal History and Technology, traces how Court learned of the Jamaican ironworks from a visiting cousin, a West Indies shipmaster who regularly transported prizes, vessels, cargo, and equipment seized through military action from Jamaica to England. Just months later, the British government placed Jamaica under military law and ordered the ironworks to be destroyed, claiming it could be used by rebels to convert scrap metal and into weapons to overthrow colonial rule. The story here is Britain closing down through military force competition, said Bulstrode. The machine was acquired by Court and shipped to Portsmouth, where he patented the innovation. 5 years later, Court was discovered to have embezzled vast sums from Navy wages, and the patents were confiscated and made public, allowing widespread adoption in British ironworks. Bulstrode hopes to challenge existing narratives of innovation. If you ask people about the model of an innovator, they think of Elon Musk or some old white guy in a lab coat. She said they don't think of black people enslaved in Jamaica in the 18th century. Dr. Sherry Warmington, an honorary research associate at UCL, said the work was important for the reparations movement. It allows for the proper documentation of the true genesis of science and technological advancements and provides a starting point for how to quantify and repair the impact that this loss has had on the developmental opportunities of post-colonial states and push through the discourse of technological transfer as a key tenet of the reparations movement. That is true. Good for them. That is true. And I also want to point this out. A lot of these ADOS FBA types talk about how there is a unique history in America, that the things that happened in America to black people, Diwani and black Americans, only happened to them. Now here we have that they've stolen the invention, just as they stole inventions from black people in America and took it and used it. And not only that, they destroyed it to stop them competing. So just like in America, where black towns were destroyed and black farms were stolen to stop black people competing or to have an access to life, they did the same thing in Jamaica and probably elsewhere across the Caribbean and the African world where black people did something great and it was destroyed. I mean, I even covered in one of my videos the city of Edo in Benin in Nigeria, where they had destroyed this magnificent city and its advanced architecture and science, and then they talk about blacks had no civilization. So this is I'm mentioning this because it's to say that all black people have similarities in their culture and their lived experience, even if they aren't necessarily experiencing the same types of oppression wherever they may be. And I also want to point this out. They love to have this stereotype of black people stealing, but this white man stole from a group of black people, took their ideas, and then he stole from his own white people, stealing the government money from the wages that he was being paid to do a job. I mean, this guy is the original thief. He's stealing from other people. He's stealing from his own people. You know, it's like what they said in that movie Trading Places, those old stock bloaters. This guy was probably stealing since the moment he could get up and walk. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this story. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.